teams are finally organized. Wonderful. That means that my work here is basically done. Unless, of course, I don't know. I don't actually know how to switch. Oh my goodness. Jin Zhao is coming down. Gets hit by an AoE stun thanks to Annie. Oh man, it looks like they're actually going to turn this one around. Annie, unfortunately, doesn't have the stun up, but if Caitlyn could quite possibly... Nope, she's not going to be able to get close enough to Vayne to take her out. Secure a kill for his own team, but... You know what, that did push 2 people back to base, so that is a win, especially for a Caitlyn who just, you know, let's go to bot lane and just push all day. That'll be fine. I also said I was going to turn the sound on, but I'm too lazy to do that now. Maybe as soon as we hit another, you know, absolutely dead spot where it's trying to focus on one person hitting a jungle minion. Also, let's go back to directed camera. I'm sure there are way more interesting things to be had here. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Dalzanor just going immediately back onto Lissandra, pushing her out of lane. Unfortunately, not able to get the kill because he's already used Ignite to get the first blood, but she's going to have to go back. She's still up in farm, oddly enough, but she's going... straight into that Chalice of Harmony, getting that early game magic resist against Fizz. We'll see how much that helps her, but I'm not entirely sure. Now, the good news for Follow Us, though, is that Diver Dan, who's playing Caitlyn, has twice as much farm as Phonetics. Phonetics. I just now got that username. I was looking at it and I was like, there's some trick to that name. But regardless, she's got over twice as much CS in 6 minutes in the game. Has pretty much bought the gold to even between the two teams. Less than 200 gold between them. Also in top lane, Follow Us is up. GT Angel is up 13 farm on Deftclip's Shen. So despite the fact that mid seems to be not going quite as well as the ought to have had it. That was an awful joke. I'm very sorry. Things seem to be going quite alright for Follow Us. Also, if GT Angel had actually gotten that kill on that Jin Zhao, I probably would have acknowledged it at all. But, you know, when I'm sitting here talking to myself, it's a little bit difficult to consider every single thing that happens. Especially when I'm more or less rambling. Is the stream lagging? Yes, the stream is lagging on my computer's part. I'm going to spend a little bit of time figuring what it is. We're just gonna go ahead and ignore the fact that the Dalzanor just got another kill on Lissandra. I'm sorry, I didn't. Normally the stream, like I said, normally the stream is fine when I'm playing streaming for myself. But for whatever reason, just switching to spectator mode is it's not working out too well for me. But then again, this is just kind of me testing this out. It is just a regular circuit game, so it's not like professional quality is to be expected. Oh, well then. Looks like Dalzanor did not, in fact, get the kill on Lissandra. Lissandra just gets executed by wolves. I think. Yeah, wolves. Well then. That's an interesting turn of events that we did not get to see, and I'm very sorry about that. But anyway, let's see what else we've got here. The gold lead has expanded further to 500. Trying to figure out exactly where that's coming from. Must be the 2 farm that Nami has. Awful support's taking their AD carries farm. No, I'm sure Phonetics doesn't care. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure he does. Let's see what we've got here in terms of items. We've got double Dorans on Vayne down in bot lane, a very early game defensive build, I suppose. As opposed to Caitlyn, who it's 8 minutes in and she's got a BF sword. Could be going for a very early Infinity Edge, but it's way too early to tell here, considering she has one piece of it. But regardless, Lissandra very quick to use the ult when Fizz goes in, but if you'll notice, she just hit level 6, whereas Fizz has been level 8 for a while, constantly 2.5 levels up on this Lissandra. Amazing. He is just... I did not even notice the farm swing that much in Fizz's favor. It looks like mid lane is actually going to go ahead and mid lane's going to go ahead and take that tower down, but wow, I went to go watch pushing instead of seeing a kill happen. But it went to the support, so it couldn't have been that important. No, my apologies. So Nami goes down to a gank by Jarvan and stun, well, a Tibbers by Annie. So that's a little bit of early gold for the support, which could be good in getting that early sightstone. Early game vision could potentially swing the game around. I say swing the game around as if this isn't 10 minutes into the game and the gold hadn't just swung over to follow us aside by less than 100 gold. Anyway, they're making quick advantage of that gank. I mean, once again, directed camera is not on. I'm not cut out for this commentating and working the camera at the same time thing. But they're making quick work of that gank down bottom. So going immediately to take the turret and then immediately take dragon afterwards. So I'm gonna turn the sound down on this just a little bit because it is overwhelming in my ears, so it probably is overwhelming via the stream. So, I heard a turret get destroyed, and it was mid, just like I thought it would be. Getting a ward cleared out on Deftclip's side. Let's get some cheering, because this is EG versus whoever the hell they were playing. Gambit, I don't know. Whatever that World Finals game was last year. I'm referencing something that happened over a year ago. How awesome am I? Looks like we basically got a stalemate going down on the bottom lane. Vlad is constantly harassing Shen, but it's not like he's really taking that much. Oh, Fizz was going pretty hard on that Lissandra there, and even threw out his ultimate after she threw out hers. But that Annie coming in with a stun ready is just enough to deter anyone. Deter anyone. Just let that pun sink in for a minute there and just hate me for it. Go ahead, you're allowed to. Anyway, I'd just like to point out as well, like, remember when I said that Fizz was 2.5 levels up on Lissandra? She just hit 7, while Fizz has been up at 10 for probably a minute now. Oh, looks like they're finally gonna try and capitalize on ganking Shen, but nothing's gonna come of that thus far, unless they're planning on pushing this tower down. But Xin Zhao is coming in. He might be able to stop this. They might be able to turn this one around, especially with the taunt from Shen. Comes in with an audacious charge, throws up the 3 Talon strike on Jarvan. Oh, and here comes Pocket Fizz down from mid lane, but unfortunately they're not going to be able to get a kill on either one of them. But they're probably going to be able to push this tower down. Those long-winded rants. I don't understand how actual chatcasters do this. They have partners. It's whatever. But, no, Caitlyn doing what Caitlyn does best, just constantly pushing that bot lane, and, Deftclip is happy to say, you know what, you can go ahead, I believe our bot lane can, handle that by themselves. We're gonna go ahead and take this top turret. You can pressure that bottom turret all you want, but, we're the ones who actually got a turret, and, you guys didn't seem to do too much about that. Anyway, that brings the gold lead straight back into Deftclip's favor, 17.1 to 16. That's a 10k gold lead at 13 minutes. 10k, 1k gold lead at 13 minutes, which is not as surprising as 10k, but nor is it as impressive, but that's still a pretty considerable advantage. Oh, we've got a 4-person death rush going in. Lissandra just goes hard straight onto the Vayne. Despite the fact that Xin Zhao was coming from the side, an easily accessible target goes straight onto the Vayne. Well, Follow Us still manages to get the kill onto Xin Zhao despite the fact that he was not the primary target. Jarvan is still trying to go in, maybe to capitalize on this a bit more, but it looks like he's just gonna have to back while the rest of his team tries to push down this turret. Oh, and if I can just point out, meanwhile in top lane, just, you know, just chilling. I love the fact that I switched back to directed camera and it just immediately went back to top lane. Fantastic. Alright, I'm gonna do a couple of things in the background to see if I can't make this. Oh, you know what? I believe I found the problem. I had the stream running twice in the background. That should probably fix a bit of the FPS. There was a 1v1 and both people died. That's as much as I got from that engage. I'm sorry, I was too busy trying to fix this FPS problem. Seems to have worked out quite a bit. I'm still checking my millions of tabs to see if there's anything else I can get rid of, but nope, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do much else. I could actually close the browser, but what fun would that be? Alright. So, let's, Xin Zhao's going straight onto the Lissandra. She's been bullied all game. She is down 4. She's 0-4-1. She hasn't completed a full item yet. This is a rough game for her, especially considering her lane opponent already has a Lich Bane. It's 15 minutes of the game, and he got that 1.5 minutes in. That's a pretty early Lich Bane, and that is devastating on Fizz. Lissandra getting her blue buff run. Well, we'll see if she can use that to turn some things around, turn some things in her favor. But she's not having too much luck this game. Oh, I got a little bit confused when I saw the score was 4-1 with 5 deaths on Follow Us's side. But then I remembered that dreaded Wolf Camp taking out Lissandra that one time. Savages. So we've got a little bit of minor counter jungling going on. Can't really say too much for the action that's going on. Caitlyn is just back to pushing, and I'd like to point out again that the gold has swung in favor back to the purple side. It is now 1K in favor of Follow Us. This is just a close game overall, where really I don't think the gold wants to go one way or the other. It's like the fates of League of Legends are just like, no. I want a fair matchup. And there shall be a fair matchup. Anyway, well, Follow Us going ahead for that dragon while Lissandra gets caught out in blue team's jungle. And she goes down pretty quickly. Looks like Vayne gets that blue buff. She's going to be tumbling all over the place now, and that's not good, especially considering the fact that she just got 2 more kills to speak of. I mean, Caitlyn manages to get a kill on Xin Zhao, but at what cost? Alright, now Vlad just needs to hurry up and get to mid lane so he can feed Vayne the pentakill. You know, it's bad manners if you don't. But no, he's just gonna continue pushing top. Not gonna be able to get too much pressure onto that, but it's quite alright because he's doing what he can. Meanwhile, in mid, 3 people are trying to push down the middle inner turret on purple team. But Jarvan says, I'm not going to have any of that. Not yet, anyway. But, well, despite the fact that Vayne got a quadra kill in that last fight, giving her all 4 of her kills this game, the gold lead is still in favor of Follow Us. They did get the dragon immediately beforehand, but there was quite a fight to ensue after that, so... Like I said, this is just a close game overall. 2 turrets to 2 turrets. Vlad throwing down his ultimate just to get the Nami, just to get the support. That's commitment right there. I mean, that's not going to be up for another 93.15 seconds. So, you know, that... I'm sure he knew what he was doing. But then again, sometimes you just have to pick off the kills where you can. I mean, look where that kill got them. It's now 5v4, and they can pressure back, maybe enhance this gold lead quite a little bit. Despite the fact that there are 8 kills split evenly between the 2 carries on Deftclip's team, there doesn't seem to be much of a resistance against it.